Boker Tov, Zorim, Tovim, and Laila Tov. No matter where you're at, that's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Carrie, and here again I wanted to speak from my heart this morning. I posted a video regarding the clarification on mother, and I had reached out to a community that I was involved in and with for quite a few years, just trying to bring awareness to what we were doing. We met some incredible people in our journey that have a similar background yet different than where we are at, and I was met with some very strong objections. It really broke my heart because they didn't ask questions as to why. They just assumed much and are praying for our souls. I appreciate their heart. That's the first thing I want to say. But the second thing I want to say is that regarding any movement out there, we are not a part of any movement. We are not part of the Messianic community. We're not part of the Hebrew Roots community. We do not follow teachers anymore of any sort, because the Holy Spirit and the Scriptures in their original form of Hebrew and Aramaic are teaching us much. So I'm not even really trying to promote a ministry. I was attempting to provide information. It's up to us to navigate this stream of life. And for Ken and I, we gathered our pieces along the way, and then the Holy Spirit would position us where we would need to move next. So we've been in and out of a lot of things, and we have taken many pieces with us, which is why I believe that we are able to see what we can see today. So my clarification to you is this: do whatever the Spirit tells you to do. If you want to be able to see the Father's portion of the teaching, the cipher, and to unlock the beautiful mysteries that are within the encoded Scriptures, it's necessary to find a way to increase your vibratory nature. What I was attempting to do in my previous video was share with you how we did it. Not that that's how you needed to do it, but I'll speak for myself. I felt a responsibility to share that with you so that you would at least know how we got there. Again, we're not part of any movement. We are just studying these beautiful languages that have given us much information and really is our inheritance as we continue to grow spiritually. Finally, I would just say that the whole purpose of what we are doing is to get rid of fear. Fear is what manipulates and controls us. Unconditional love is that place where we no longer fear, and we can embrace everyone right where they're at. And I believe that this is exactly what Yeshua, and for some of you know him as Jesus, was walking in. And he was demonstrating that to us. And he was trying to point to a way and a walk that would help assist others. The only people that he condemned were the religious leaders that were telling people what to do. And in of that, I do have difficulty with religious leaders who do the same thing. Each one of us has our own spiritual journey that we're on, and therefore each person must make their own decision. And so having someone who is in quote-unquote religious authority tell them what they can and cannot do is actually really a service to self-polarity and not a service to others. Again, I'm not telling anyone what to do. So if you don't want, or you have too much fear and you're afraid to walk into some of these quote-unquote movements, and you might fear for your soul, the only thing that I can tell you is if anything that we teach resonates with you, then you need to find a way to learn the letters. So forget Matthew Nolan, forget Jim Staley, go find other resources. But everyone is going to have their own path that they are going to tell you is the right way. Listen to your spirit. Listen to your spirit. Let it guide you. And if at the end of the day, if the only thing that you can handle looking at is Jeff Benner's work on his ancienthebrew.org website, then just go there. But if you want to be taught, you have to find a way to learn the letters, their paleo meanings, what their symbols look like, so that when we teach and share, you can begin to recognize and do something with the information. Second, you need to raise your vibratory nature. And I know people don't want me talking about their food, and they think that I'm religious. Well, I've been set free from all of that. So that is your perspective, and as your perspective, it is valid to you. We need to increase our vibratory nature. And if it isn't high enough, and you have not walked a spiritual path but a religious one, you will never see the codes. If you've had too much trauma, or you have too many shadows that you haven't worked through your shadow work, you will not see the Father's teaching. So again, I'm just trying to share with you ways that we did it. And we will never tell anyone to do anything. That is not our heart. That would be negative polarity. We seek to help enlighten people by showing them possibilities of different paths that they can choose to take. We don't lord over. We're not collecting people. We don't want to have a collection of people, because we're not meant to collect people. We're meant to collect the pieces necessary for our spiritual growth, so that we then can turn point the way to others so that they can collect their pieces for spiritual growth in drips and drops. It's not going to happen overnight. But this pathway is a lot faster than 40 years of meditation like a Tibetan monk. And we are close to things changing. That I can tell you, and that I think a lot of you are already spiritually feeling. Sorry about that. So I hope that this clarification on a clarification is more clear. But if it is not, the only thing I would ask you to do is please ask questions. The people that have chosen to write us off or tell us that we're following doctrines of demons and our souls in jeopardy, not one of them has asked us why. Not one of them has asked us about our journey and how we got here and why it is that we see what we see. And I know that it comes from a camp of fear. I will be posting something in inspiration here that I received yesterday morning that helped me to be able to understand the position that they're at. And no matter where you're at, I love you unconditionally. And it makes no difference to me whether you want to crucify me or you want to love me, or if you just remain neutral. I love you regardless, because you are of humanity. And we're all going the same way and eventually to the same place. And if I can be a part of your life, great. But we're already part with each other. So whether people want to or not, we're still all of one, as Yeshua rightly said, I and my Father are one. So I hope this finds you well. Please ask questions. Don't hesitate to do so. And if we're meant to walk this way in the same direction, great. And if not, if it takes you on a different path and journey, I bless you in your endeavor. I bless all that you do. And we will just continue to walk the way that we're walking, with our hands outstretched behind us to help assist others along their journey if they so choose. So, shalom, shalom, and namaste.